Yo, check this out. Sit down. The lesson begins now.
We are live on the mic. The crowd favorite, DJ Deuce, is in the building.
Oh, what's up, man? We're on Live on the Mic podcast. I'm here with my boy, my homie, East Coast legend, DJ Ivy. What's up, DJ Ivy?
What's good, bro?
Everything's good, man. It's good. I'm so, I was like, we were talking about a few months ago about getting you on, but man, I know you've been busy and you're like, yeah, we'll get that fixed, And then you sent me your tour date. I'm like, could we squeeze you in before you go on tour? Because you're going to be gone for about a month. But we'll get into that, man.
I always got time for you, bro.
I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it, man. How's everything going on with you, man?
Everything's wonderful out here, man. Everything's wonderful on the East Coast. We're like you said, we're gearing up for a tour. We just had some crazy events go down this past weekend. Coastal Culture Class, Hopscotch. We've had crazy festivals here all summer.
Yeah, I saw that.
I DJ'd a comedy fest all weekend down here. We had
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we had a brand new festival called Shindig, which was super dope. We had Magnetic World, which is in their second or third year now. And, we ended up having like Theo Vaughn came through the club on my birthday.
You had pictures all over. From the Tootsie Moose,
on my birthday, and he had some of my birthday cake with me, so that was pretty dope.
That's fucking awesome,
and,
man.
We had Dead Mouse through the club a couple weeks ago. We had Snoop Dogg. Trailer Park Boys there during the summer when he was doing
you
cross Kansas
posted
tour.
The best comment I've ever seen for a DJ.
Okay,
I'm gonna tell you because I know how this feels. All right, you are doing major things. You're surrounded by major people, major players, and Snoop Dogg's rolling through, right? And you write, if you haven't supported one Sunday in the last year, don't fucking ask me for VIP. And I was like, thank you. Facts, man. Facts.
Straight up. And like my best dude called me and was like, yo, man, is that about me? I was like, bro. And my dude works construction. So like I'm never expecting to see him on a
Sunday or something. Yeah.
So I was like, bro, man, like you're the last dude I would ever be talking.
But you know what? I got to give it to him. At least he had a soft spot going, damn, it might have been me, because a lot it's funny in the business. Even when I was a big nightclub promoter with 601 Entertainment, I remembered like people would know my name, but had no fucking idea because there was no social media about, back then. Right. Yeah, and then I'd sit there and some of the bouncers are like, oh, Joey. Oh yeah, cool. Where is he? And they'd look around and he's like, oh, he's not here. And I'm standing right there. They're like, you don't even know who he is. You're not getting in, and that's the industry. I found people just like to use your name or for their own benefit. In this case would be to go see, obviously Snoop Dogg spin, but how was it? That night looked insane.
Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, like the concert was dope. The only shitty thing about the concert for me is I was sitting 2 rows in front of a security guard. So I couldn't smoke the whole time. Like, I was just like, man, you know what? So like it made up the next like the after party we had at the Toothy Moose.
Yeah.
And with the Trailer Park Boys. And that just made up for the whole thing because I mean we were getting lit. My homegirl Amy Anonymous was down from Toronto, and all the friends of Mercules was here.
Yeah, that's right. So
it was just like super, super dope to be in the club, in Snoop's, environment and smoking with him. And he came up on stage and he dapped me up. He dapped RS Smooth up. We were opening before he got there. So we were playing the tunes before until he showed up.
And I'm here in Ottawa going, for fuck's sakes.
But he has a long-term relationship with the Trailer Park Boys, and the Trailer Park Boys own the club.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, like, it was only natural. They had a merch thing going on. He was, and actually, like, not to give too much away, but, Trailer Park Boys were filming that night. You know what I mean? So it wasn't just like Snoop's coming to the club. It was actually for something.
That makes sense.
So it's, it's dope. Craziest part of the night is that, we had some openers that we were going to put on, but kind of Snoop was like, okay, I don't want no openers going before me. He's like, they can play after me or whatever.
Okay.
So, after Snoop left, he literally showed up, walked on stage, DJ'd, walked off stage, and was gone. Like, we had a personal bartender for him and everything. He didn't even take a drink.
As
Like,
if.
it was crazy. So, after he left, we're like, okay, we're gonna get the openers on or whatever. The rappers. We had Knucklehead, Tyrone from Trail.
Yep.
A couple other rappers, and Quake was in the building. So I go to load up the songs on my laptop, and I had my laptop on stage. As soon as he got on, we just kind of backed off, and he went and did his thing on his setup. But the whole time while Snoop was playing, Trailer Park Boys were standing right by him, and they were partying with him all night.
Yeah.
Like hosting, you know what I mean? So they were drinking or whatever. Apparently, Julian spilled a drink on my laptop.
No.
But it's all on tape from like 9 angles. It's all recorded. So, shout out to the boys. Like everybody was getting turned up that night. So, shit happened.
It does happen.
But they're solid guys, or very respectable men, and they replaced my laptop for me.
That's dope. Okay.
I lost a few files that I just can't get back.
See,
but
that's the thing. I remember my laptop got like jacked years ago. My house got stolen, and I remember that it wasn't like the fanciest MacBook Pro, but people had no idea how much work was involved in the MacBook Pro.
They'll never know. They'll never know. We had band practice last week at Classifieds. We're getting ready for tour. We're doing a cross Canada tour. We got, O Sound, Jordan, Rhea May, Brett Matthews, the whole nine, so we're getting ready to gear up for tour, and we're just doing the band practice, and Rhea sent me a file, so I was going through putting it in the right place, and she looked at my laptop. She's like, "You're really organized like that?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I have to be like."
Oh my God, yeah.
You know what I mean? So on top of the organization, that is what was lost.
Straight up, man. It was just like and there's times. So whatever, you get a new laptop, you put all your shit in it, you go and DJ an event, and someone goes, "Yo, you have this track?" And you go, "Yeah." And you go,
"Yeah,
no," because you forgot that one.
It's a gift and a curse about getting new laptops, because my last laptop I bought was like 2016, so I was running a good 8 years.
Yeah,
that's a good run for a MacBook Pro, right?
Yeah.
So there was 8 years worth of work. I mean, I had it backed up to an extent. I don't do the time capsule.
Yeah,
I don't do that. But I had it backed up to an extent. I probably lost about 2 months worth of work. But just when I get a new MacBook, I don't like to just dump the whole hard drive.
Yes.
I don't like to dump everything. I actually like to start fresh. I build new crates, all that stuff. And if, shit, I've had 2 MacBooks really crap out on me. And so I was never able to recover the files off of either of them. So I was kind of just forced to start. But I have had a couple where I can cross-reference, okay, this crate was on this, so I'm gonna recreate that crate.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly the way it was.
For people that don't understand, how much songs is in your computer? How many tracks?
Oh my God.
See?
Tens of thousands, if not hundreds.
Yes, exactly.
I wouldn't say I have hundreds of thousands, but
it's to a point where guys, feel free to download any track you want. 50,000 tracks and sort them out. Just any tracks. That's how much work is involved.
Yeah. And it's rough too, because you got to really dig these days. It's easy for you to just go on Beatport or something or DJ City and just get a bunch of random shit. But if you're really looking for creating playlists and
facts
shit you like, instead of just playing club shit, it's fucking hard, man.
Dude, I remembered even you get curious, right? So I was on Franchise Record Pool, and to find that one cool because that one song is just too slow, but it's dope. And you're like, I just need to find that one. and the amount of garbage you have to plow through to try to find that one.
Yeah.
It's hours of like, oh my God, who made this? Why does this exist? Like, it's like, you should drive me nuts. I totally get that.
What really bugs me these days is like the level up of a remix, because it's like you'll find a remix and you'll be like, oh, this is the one, and then like a week later you're finding another one that's way better, and you're like, oh man, this was way better. Like, so then you end up having like 4 or 5 different remixes of like some same songs. Like,
True.
I just been like trying to get into the habit of just getting rid of the ones
See,
that I'm not playing.
I used to get fucking, whenever I could DJ, I usually, I'm a big party animal. You've met me. I was at the club. I like doing shots. I like setting shots. So it was funny because I was talking to some of my friends this weekend. I was like, of all the times I've DJ'd Annihilated and had drunks people around me, the only time I spilt beer on my equipment, it was at a wedding where I had 1 beer.
Wow.
It was, it was something out of the ordinary. It was put on my left side for some weird reason. Someone came and requested a song on that side where they normally don't. And then when my hand came back, dude, it went right on the smaller, the DJ SX, the smaller one, the Pioneer one.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, oh, fuck, man, this wedding just started. And I'm like 45 minutes away from home. So I'm like, I'm thinking I'm going to do some ghetto shit right off the computer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people don't understand, like, the panics that comes in, right? You're like, oh. And this thing sparkled. Don't get me wrong. It all the colors came in. All the buttons were flashing. But the motherfucker stayed intact for the whole night. It never worked after that. Never worked after that. But it actually stayed intact. And I was like, the only time I destroyed equipment was 1 beer at a wedding. I was embarrassed. I was like, really? Really? 1? Really? Like, not even a cool story.
That happened to me on New Year's. I didn't spill it on me. So like, I'm not even joking. This is like 3-4 seconds after the countdown. Like so 4 seconds after the countdown. And this girl was walking a tray of drinks and she got bumped from behind. And it went all over my controller. And only reason I was rocking the controller that night was because I had 3 gigs that night. So I had to take them and go and take and go, right?
Exactly.
So it's the only reason why I had a controller with me. And it was one of those rolling joints that they came out with the 808.
Yes.
The 808 in it too. So like, thankfully the guys that own the venue, they were like, I was like, bro, one of your waitresses, blah, blah. They're like, dude, that wasn't even a waitress. I was like, listen, she had a tray of drinks. We got to work something out.
She was a waitress that night. Who gives a shit?
So they took care of the repairs, and I traded that thing in and got a SRT 1000.
You gotta get. There's something gonna be sticky with that thing. No way. So I also saw you in a classified music video, man. Tell me about that.
I'm in a couple of those.
Look at those. Look at this guy.
I'm in a couple of those. He's just put out a new album this year called Luke's View, and that's what we're actually going on tour to support. The Welcome to the Maritimes, the Luke's View album tour. And I don't know, man, amazing body of work.
Yeah.
My dude's been leveling up for fucking way over 20 years now.
For sure.
Every single release always gets better. And, I can say that with confidence because I was always a fan before I ever became a friend of his.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I've been there. I've seen the whole progress, and he's just putting out fire right now. He actually just dropped a remix on Friday, the People remix.
Oh, dope.
Which is like, if you heard the first People song, it's really heavy, it's really dark. The content is, it's very questionable to some people.
Mm-hmm.
But the message is there if you really listen to the song. And it's one of those things where you kind of really gotta pay attention to catch the message.
So look at this. You guys are gone for like a complete month straight.
Yeah, almost, man.
God
Straight
damn.
up. I'm fucking pumped, bro. I haven't been on tour in 6 years. So this to me is like the last tour I did was 6 weeks, the greatest 6 weeks of my life. And you know, like I said, haven't been there in 6 years, and this right here on the screen is just heaven to me, man. Like looking at all them dates, looking at all
Dude,
those
man.
venues, like
Yeah.
you know, and it's just one of those things like where when you're on tour with your homies and you're getting to see the country that you live in, and you know, you get to see different people every night. Like for me, that's the only thing I ever asked for at a DJing, was just to be able to travel and play to different crowds of people every
I
night.
agree.
So this, like, just looking at that, those 18 dates or so, like that's heaven to me, bro.
Like
I'm gonna be in my prime every single night. So
you're killing it. It's you're gonna be everywhere. You're in my hometown on November 28th in Ottawa.
yes,
I
sir.
still see Kingston and Montreal for me there. That those are hands reach. You don't be surprised if I pop by. Don't be surprised.
yes, sir.
I love
Come
I
through,
love
man. We
I
we're gonna have a
love
great time.
I love going to other cities, man. I'm big on that. I had a girl. She's a country rock singer, great girl. I had her on the podcast, and she told me she was performing at in Sudbury, and I was like, Sudbury is 5 hours away. I'm like, I've been there once. Called my boy. I looked up a hotel. It's fucking $150. We rolled by, man. We had a great time, man. For such a small place. It's trust me, during the day it looked like an apocalypse. Everything was closed. It was kind of weird, but don't get me wrong. At night it wasn't too bad. We had a great fucking time. So I love
You
going out.
you'd be surprised how many of those little ass towns just really turn up.
For
You know what I
sure,
mean?
man.
Like some of the funnest nights are, you know, they're not the Montreals, they're not the Torontos or the
No, you're right. Yeah.
Vancouvers. Like, you know, these little Alberta, Ontario, BC towns. Like,
Yeah.
you know, great times, like great epic nights.
We were just in BC about I don't want to say about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and one of our good friends, his cousin lives off in Chilliwack, but now we're in 20,
Yep.
30 minutes away from Vancouver. So you know, we toured a little bit of Vancouver. We went up to Chilliwack, and I fell in love with Chilliwack. I was like, this is
Yep.
so beautiful up here. And every time I talk to someone, I knew a few people out there. They're like, oh, it's very small. It's very small. So me being I took small to another level. Like I saw the corner store and said, shit, I got to buy toothpaste here. You know, I'm thinking it's that type of small, right? So I'm paying an arm and a leg for toothpaste and stuff. And then I drive by a Walmart like 8 minutes later and I'm like, God damn it, this place isn't small.
Yeah,
But-
the Walmarts are everywhere.
yeah, I know. I was just like, I see a Home Depot, a Walmart. I'm like, yo, I've been in small towns in Quebec, you know, like small, like you know, that's why I was
Yeah.
like, when they told me small, I kind of panicked. So I'm like, yo, we got to get our shit right here. You know, let's get some beer and some liquor and some toothpaste, and you know what I was like, I panicked, but then I ended up seeing this Walmart, and I was like, I fucked myself. But no, it was a great place though. Yeah, we were out there for just a quick 3 days, just a quick long weekend.
Nice.
Got a cheap flight. I think it was like $320 there and
Nice.
back from Ottawa. So like, you know what I mean? It was one of those like saw the price, couldn't resist, man. Had to do it. Had to pull that off, man.
So
Now, is there one in one of the places that you're going on tour? Are you excited to go check out?
well, Kelowna is my favorite city outside of Halifax. in
Yeah,
Canada. So I always love going to Kelowna.
that's dope.
But you know, I'm excited to see friends in Calgary. I'm excited to see friends in Van, in Montreal, Toronto. Like,
Yeah,
you know, so like, you know, it's not that we don't have friends in other places. You know what I mean? But like, just so, like I said, I haven't been on the road in 6 years. Like,
imagine that.
you know, for tour. Like I've been a few places, but I haven't been anywhere's. Like I haven't been to BC in 6 years. You know, I haven't been to Toronto in 6 years.
Imagine that.
Like that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm very, very excited to go see these places again, and connect with my people that I haven't seen forever, and just, you know, rock the show, because like we got a crazy set. We had crazy set planned. So
Sounds so exciting, brother.
very
I can't
excited.
wait. I
Very,
can't
very
wait, man. I
excited.
can't wait. I told you, I remembered someone was mentioning when I was at one of the events, I think it was the Lloyd Banks event, they were mentioning that you guys were coming down. They didn't tell me
Yep.
the date. That's when I was like, yo, when you coming down? You're like, no, and you sent me the dates. I was like, oh, perfect. I'm 100% going to be there.
Yeah, man.
I have
you
to
gotta
come
be
check you
there.
guys out, man. So, man, you guys, it's, you know, from seeing on social media, man, it just feels like whatever you're doing, whatever you're a part of, it's been fucking live. It's been bumping. It's been steamrolling. You've been doing one hell of a job out there, man. Like, How are you doing it? And how are you like, dude? How are you like so big? First of all, how are you on a podcast with this type of schedule?
I actually was running late too, man. I just got home, had to run out and do a couple of errands. It just never stops, bro. I'm addicted to getting it, bro.
Good
Like
for
for real,
you. Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's grinding is my hobby. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, I never ever expected this DJ stuff to, become what it has become.
Hmm.
And I've been very blessed to be able to, make a living out of it and be so still present 25 years
Oh yeah,
into
yeah.
the game, right?
That's dope.
So
Yes.
like I'm not taking that like I'm not just like brushing that off. Like I'm going hard right now. Like
Now, for people that
um
don't know, how the hell did you and Classify ever hook up?
probably through my man Special K. Special K used to be a rapper, lived right around the corner from me, and I known him since way before rap shit. Used to go to same schools. Like I was in, like from primary to like grade 10
Yeah.
with his brother, and so like he's the one. Like I was DJing, he was rapping. We kind of connected to, let's do some little things. We were doing small little shows. We did like Sam the Record Man in
Oh
stores,
fuck! Right.
and
All
like
right. All right.
they used to have like a local wall,
Yeah.
like in the Sam the Record Man's down here. So like they when they were putting albums out, like him, Jay Brew, like a couple other rappers, like local guys, Collision, Dirt Rascal, and we linked up with these guys real early and just started DJing because like they didn't have a DJ.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? They seen DJs, they seen Joe Ron Bombay, they seen like Looney Tunes and RS Smooth and like guys that were fucking with Class and like his group Ground Squad back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they knew like, okay, we need to get a DJ. And then when I started DJing, they were like, oh yeah, you gotta come DJ for us. So like they would just set up these random ass shows. And we started doing them at the All Ages Club. It was called the Pavilion.
Okay.
And every time that we would do one there, I was like, yo, is Class 5 come through?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is he coming through, man? Because I was already a fan. I had
That's
found
dope.
his music online on like a local hip hop website, like when I was 15, 16, 17. So by the time I started DJing when I was like 20, 19, 20,
Yeah.
um, you know, when we were doing those shows, like I already had been a fan and he knew him because worked with Joe Run and Joe Run worked with Class.
Okay.
So that's how Spesh got to know Class, and it was through Joe Run, because Class used to live in Enfield, but he would hitchhike in town to go to Joe Run's studio because Joe Run always had the fat beats, And
And tell people.
if you look up Joe Run Bombay now, like this man's a legend.
And the
Like
thing is, beats back then were hard.
oh yeah,
I always tell the young cats today, I'm like, yo, you used to find a producer that made beats back then. You almost kept it silent. You didn't tell no one. You're just like,
yeah. Yeah, this guy got the gold mine over
yeah,
here,
exactly,
So,
exactly.
and if you know Joe Run or the history of him, like that man's been having the gold mine for years,
Ah,
like
sick.
ever since. He's literally a walking encyclopedia for
Yeah.
hip hop. Like
Wow.
he can hear a song and tell you where the snare came from, where the sample, who played the sample. He can tell you who was playing the trumpet on the song. Like,
Jesus.
you know what I mean? He's literally a walking encyclopedia, and he's respected by like all the huge DJ producer guys like Jazzy Jeff, Questlove. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like all them, like Bismarck. He used to call him on the phone. Like he got in really good with that world of icons by doing this series called Instrumentals You Never Got. And
Okay.
what he would do is because he knows where the samples came from, he would go back and remake the songs that never had instrumentals. So
Oh my
so
God.
like Juju from or yeah, Juju from the Beatnuts would be like like no, it was Bismarcky, that's what it was. Bismarcky called him and said, yo, I'm playing a song. I'm playing shit, my mic's cutting out. He said, I'm playing a gig I'm playing Juju's birthday tonight, and I need you to remix this song, this instrumental, because it never came out. Because this is after they knew he was doing this, right?
Okay.
So Bismarck, he called him on the phone. Was like, I'm playing Juju's birthday. This song never had an instrumental. He's like, I want to blow his mind tonight on his birthday. Joe Ron was like, say less. Hung up the phone, called him back like 2 hours later. Was like, check your inbox, and and. And he said he went and played it for him, and Juju was like, at jamming at first, and then he realized it was like a remix. He looked up and he was like, "Where the fuck did you get this?" Like, and it was like blowing all these guys' minds because like Jazzy Jeff and Z Trip, like these remix heavy DJs that would like, wait a minute, I know there ain't a, I know there's not an instrumental for that.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? And then they all like just became friends with him. Like Joe's been down to the playlist retreat, Jazzy Jeff's playlist retreat.
Yeah,
and he's just like friends with all the legends.
That's dope, man.
So like salute to Joe Ron Bombay because he's a huge part of Halifax hip hop history, and a lot of people met Joe, and he connected a lot of people. So if it wasn't for Joe, maybe I wouldn't have never met Class.
Facts,
you know what I mean?
Facts,
like,
yeah.
Because me and Joe were friends forever. We were fucking with each other heavy. Like,
so, like when you meet Classified, like, is it you guys are cool from minute one, first second?
I was at a show and what's his name? I was at a show at the Pavilion, and they had their boy come down from Toronto, and we were playing the show, and I just remember he walked in, he flipped me the CD because they put their sets on CDs back.
Yeah.
And we played the set, and like we started hanging. You know what I mean? Like he was like, "Yo, like I dig your style. I need some cuts." Like, so I went over and did some cuts at his house. He didn't even have a table for me to put my turntables on. I had to, it was on a coffee table, and I was kneeling on pillows. And it was where we did "This Is For." That was the first song we ever did.
That's dope.
And I remember like he had a DJ, but he wasn't really like giving it his all.
Yep.
And he was fucking up a few shows, and then I had another group called Universal Soul that I'd hooked up like at the same time that I kind of started really solidifying things with Class. And then I had also been a part of this record label called Change the Game Records. So that record label had like 10 MCs on it. So like between Universal Soul and CTG, like my time was just like hella busy around then.
I couldn't even picture it, yeah.
And from like 2003 to like 2006, Class will always ask me, he's like, "Yo, man, I'm going on tour. You want to come DJ?" And I was like, "Fuck, bro. Like, I got like 10 gigs over here between these, two people that I'm like, I'm building over here. Like, so like I was always never able to go on tour. And then like 2006 came around. We was recording Hard to Be Hip Hop, the song with Maestro. We were doing the cuts on that, and I was at his house in Enfield. Wasn't on a coffee table this time.
upgraded.
Yeah, upgraded. And we did the whole cuts, and it was crazy. And then the power went out. And, and we lost all the cuts. So I had to redo the cuts. So the cuts you hear now are the second version. And I still think it would have been better with the first version. But
that's killer.
Yeah, it's crazy. But it's just, one of the just a little pop-up little thing for you. But with that day when we were recording that after the power come on, after we finished, I think it was when we were waiting for the computer to boot up or to see if we had lost the file.
Yeah.
He was just like, "Yo, man, I'm going on tour in the fall. And like, if you're down, I'd love you to come on tour with me." And I was just like, "Bro," I was like, everything with CTG is kind of falling apart. My group, Universal Soul, is going through some shit right now. Like, we have been touring. Like, they put out an album like right before I got with them. And like we saw like a lot of success off that album. And like we toured that album for like 3 years.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
For like
okay.
3 years, every gig that I played with them was just based off that one album that they had.
That's
And
crazy.
you know, we went to Much Music Video Awards. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we were nominated for Video Award and stuff. So, you know, it was a great run, like 2003 to 2006. And he would always ask me to go on tour, and I always had to turn him down.
That's
So,
crazy.
so when he's when we were recording that day, and it was, you know, he was like, "Yo, I want you to come," and I was like, "Look, this is fizzling out. That's fizzling out. I'm fucking there, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
fucking there. Like,
Yeah.
and like we've been rocking steady ever since 2000."
That's a dope story because like I remembered when I was kind of a hype man and I was managing this one dude, right? And we started up and you know, you're young, you have no you have too much finances but so little responsibility. So you know what I mean? So it's like studio time, no problem, this, that, and the other. And I remember we had this local group called Boogaloo Tribe, right? And I remembered our buddy went to Toronto and found their tape, and it was like them falling off the sky, like a building or something. And I remember listening to their tracks, like, yo, this shit's dope, you know? And I remembered a guy booked me and my boy to do this event, and Juggernaut from Boogaloo Tribe was we're supposed to open up for him. But when we got there, I think the promoter caught on that we brought way more people than Jugga did, which it's only because we're younger. It's an age thing. You're a kid. Of course your friends come with you, right? So the promoter switches it and Jugga opens, and then we honestly never get every show we ever went to, we're like, let's open up. You open up, you're opening up in front of everybody. That's the way we looked at it. Because if you go on too late and a few crews leave, the crowd gets a little thinner. So anyways, I go to the bathroom and I caught him talking shit. And I was so like kind of crushed because I was like, yo, I'm a real fan of your shit. You know what I mean? Like I am literally a fan of your stuff. And I remember going to a few of his shows and then I heard him talking shit and I was like, I remember just calling him out like, yo, what is it? Oh, that's fucking bullshit. I'm like, but that's on the promoter, man. Go tell him off, you know? Like, don't. And we've never, ever, me and his crew have been friends, but him and I have never, ever, we'll be in the same building. And the thing is, it has nothing to do, like, I have nothing against him. Even with me hearing him talk shit, I understand where it came from. I completely understand his reasoning for it. But he will never speak a word to me. It's like every time we're in the room, and it sucks because that's what I mean. You meet a local guy that's kind of big, and you hear about him. That's why I was like, at least your story's a lot better than mine. So. But yeah, no, it was fun. The music business was fun. It just sucks. I don't know how it was when your guys are fizzling out, but it's like when you're putting 110% behind these guys, and these guys are putting themselves like 10, 20%, or don't show up to studio time, and you're like, what the fuck? This isn't working out no more. You kind of have to pivot now. You know what I mean? And that's when I got more into DJing and promoting nightclubs. That's what I ended up doing.
Yeah, I've had a like really blessed ability to kind of just be like, okay, if this isn't happening over here, I'm gonna go over here. You know what I mean? And it's no disrespect to what's going on over here. Mm-hmm. It's just it's hard to get everybody to work together.
Yeah.
And if you guys have a problem, I'm gonna let you guys figure that out. I'm gonna go over here and do what else I got to do because, like, you know, it doesn't matter who I DJ for, or like, you know, what I'm involved in. I can always find a spot for me to go do something else, whether it's like, you know, my drum and bass crew that I've had since 2002, or you know, like if you know, I DJ for Quake quite a bit.
Yeah, there you go.
Quake Matthews. So like
he's fucking amazing, bro.
Quake's a beast, man.
That's another
Quake's
monster,
serious beast, and he's like, you know, he's a hard working guy that is gonna get everything that's coming to him.
Oh, I believe.
You know what I mean?
I believe
in the best ways possible.
Yeah.
Because he is that hard working dude that like has devoted his life to like his craft and keeping his blade sharp to the point that he can stand in any room with anybody. It doesn't matter what level of status of legend that you're talking through, and he'll blow their mind. You know what I mean? And it's just
fantastic.
And he's doing it like one artist at a time. You know what I mean? So he's already got like, you know, the Freeways and the Royce and Beanie Siegel and the Scarface. Like he's FaceTiming Scarface on the regular.
That's dope.
You know what I mean?
He's
Like
fucking when you guys post this shit, man, I'm always like, wow, it is clear, great. Like it's amazing. I'm a fan of Quake for sure.
and it's like it's one of those things like how Fat Joe always tells the story that he fucked up on passing on Eminem like 6
oh
times.
yeah.
So it's like it's one of those things like he's gonna have that story like that.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like he really is. Like, and if I had the money, I'd go all chips in on Quake.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I just don't have that kind of money to like
I
push
feel
him
you.
into stardom. Like
I feel you.
but he's amazing, bro. He's amazing. He just penned we just lost a homie of ours in the summer. His name's Al Dean Alston. He used to go by Al Boogie. He was part of my Ivy League conglomerate, like when we were doing things back in 2010 ish. We just did a booth session with him last summer, and he passed away in a car accident.
Shit.
Yeah, so we've been dealing with that, but Quake penned this amazing tribute to him called My Brother Boogs. And if you get a chance, man, go check that one out on.
I'll definitely right
YouTube.
after this. I'll definitely.
It'll get you in the heart.
Yeah.
It'll get you, but it's like just to see him take that like his craft and his pen and turn it into like such a heartfelt, heartwarming tribute to our dude. Like, and he did it for Pat. He did it for Pat's kids when Pat passed.
Yeah.
So like, it just goes to show you the level of MCing ability that he has. That he can like literally go and like, he's getting emotional with this stuff. And like his last album, Roses, like make sure you go stream that. Like he put out what is my favorite Halifax hip hop song ever.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
It's called
okay.
Called 100 Shots.
Okay.
Oh, bro, man.
Okay.
Like I told them when it came out, I was like, bro, I will play this every set for the rest of my life.
That's
like it's
dope.
like the club banger, you know what I mean? But it's like it's a heavy one. It's a heavy one.
Yeah.
But it's like, like I just salute to Quake, man. Like I love that guy, man.
No, man, that's a monster out there, man. Trust me. Yeah, it's just a matter of time before it completely blows the hell up.
He just went on tour with Chris Webby too. Wow. Like Chris Webby took him out on tour and he brought him down to the States for a couple one-off gigs too. So I said, man, like he's infiltrating that United States south of the border. Now he's like really starting to like infiltrate the artists down there. So it's only a matter of time before some A&R sees him or he's in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And he's just going to blow this fucking socks off somebody that's going to be like, we got to get behind this guy.
I completely agree. What did you think about Pat Stay and Caleb's record together?
Huge, man.
Yeah.
Pat actually wanted to send me that the week he was about to put it out. And the week that he put it out before that, and I was like, no, bro. I was like, I want to take it in as a fan.
Yeah,
I don't want the exclusive. I want to feel it because I know it's going to be a huge record.
That's a dope record.
We were at our boy O Sound's surprise birthday party on the Friday, the day that he put it out, and Class was there and he was like, yo, Pat just dropped. He's like, I'm going out on the patio to listen to it. And I was like, I got a gig right now. I was like, I gotta play. I was like, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna take this in. And we ended the party at like 1:32, and I got home by like 2:33.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I smoked my joint and I watched it like 6 times. And then I just texted him and I gave him all my thoughts, and I was just like, oh my God, dude, like this is gonna fucking go. Like you're gonna be like, this is gonna go.
Yeah.
And then like literally like the next day.
Was it really that close together? Like together, really?
The next day, man.
Oh, I didn't even know it was that close. Wow.
Yeah. I had to do a festival It's probably 45 minutes outside of Halifax. I did the festival. I was like playing with my drum and bass crew, and my girl was tripping. She was cold. She was like, I want to go. I was like, all right. So we packed it up early from the festival, and we headed back to the city. And as soon as I got home, I got one phone call, and I was like, yeah, I don't really, it's not that I don't believe that, but that's a little suspect.
Yeah, yeah.
So I made a phone call, and I was like, tell me I just didn't hear what I think I just heard.
Mhm.
And he was like, yeah, bro.
That's
So,
crazy. I didn't know that was that close apart neither. Wow. So he
yeah,
didn't even get to enjoy the success of this
not
tragedy.
even, man.
Oh,
He had 24 hours of it.
oh,
You know what I
wow.
mean? Like,
Wow.
and he would have been so proud to see that it went he would have been proud just to see 1 million views on that shit.
Dude,
You know what I
it's
mean? Like,
dope, man. It's a
and,
dope track.
and he didn't even get to push it.
No,
He just
exactly.
released
It
it,
just
and it
came
was
out.
it.
It came out and people were just like hooked on it. Yeah.
But it's like it's one of those anthems. It'll forever be our anthem
Wow.
for remembering him.
I think
And
I
we
think
play
Caleb
it. Everybody plays it all the time. Like,
Caleb is your Nate Dogg over there. You know that, eh?
oh, 1,000%.
This guy's hooks
But
and
the
shit.
thing you don't know about Caleb, well, you might know, that guy was a beatbox sensation, bro. Like, have you ever heard him beatbox?
Yes.
Okay. So like that's how we met Caleb, through beatbox. And like he was always at the events, he was always winning the beatbox battles, and like he was doing beatboxing and singing together. And he
Wow.
does this Lion King routine.
Yeah, yeah, I saw it's
Like,
on YouTube. That one
oh
too. Yeah.
man, Caleb's an amazing singer in
Yeah.
2024, but we were all like, "You're the best thing we've ever heard," just on a beatboxer level,
Imagine that.
before we ever knew he
It's
could
cra-
really, really sing. Like,
It's such a small world because when I came down to see you, yeah, was it that time? Yeah, the time I came down and checked you guys out for the weekend. The next day, Caleb, we met up with Caleb, and I'm like, yo, let's go for lunch. And he's like, all right. He's like, I want to take you to the best wing spot. I'm like, I don't know where the fucking go in Halifax. I'm like, yo, take me anywhere, right? So he takes me to the big sports place. You said you DJ'd there before, right?
Halifax Sports. It used
Yeah.
to be a bar.
That's right. I remember.
Yeah.
And then he opens the door and it's locked. And dude, he's so disappointed that he calls them, bro. And then I look at the sign. I'm like, yo, it opens at 4. He's like, no. He's like, yo, my boys are down here. You guys gotta come. I'm like, it's okay. We'll go eat somewhere else,
Hilarious.
But when we caught up with we finally sat down and caught up with each other, besides being on the podcast, and to find out, I didn't know he lived in my city for a while. We knew some of the same people.
Yeah.
He worked at 456 with Phil. And then he told me that he bumped into you at Babylon's at an event.
So this was crazy. So I hadn't seen him for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then we were on tour with D12, Royce 5'9", Joe Budden. And, we opened for them. There's some openers and stuff. So we opened for them.
Bro, I was probably at that show. I was the drunkest guy in the back. Okay, I think I remember this. Yes.
And we're on stage
Hold
or
on.
whatever.
Before we start, was it the same night that the NBA guys punched out some people in the crowd? Because I remember going to a Royce the 5'9" concert that night. Remember when the Indiana Pacers punched some dudes out at people in the crowd from Detroit? Yeah, because I remember watching that game and then walking over to a Royce the 5'9" concert. So I'm wondering if it was around the same time.
It would have been 2009.
Maybe.
That's when it would have
Okay,
been.
okay. I think it was. So I was probably at that show. Yeah.
But yeah, so like we're playing on stage or whatever, and then I keep seeing this guy off to the side, and he got a ski mask or he got a balaclava on.
Yeah.
And he keeps giving me the eyes, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then just like all of a sudden he whips the mask up and it's Caleb, and I'm like, what the fuck? You been in the corner the whole time? Like, yeah. So like it was great running into him out there too, man. I hadn't seen him for years, so
That's crazy. Yeah, he was telling me that. Yeah.
guy's
And
been on Canadian Idol and everything, man.
The best part too is when I owned the music studio, there's this guy named Damien that would come by and sing, and but he was so shy, right? Good looking dude, shy. I'm like, I tried to get him to, come out to a live show. He wouldn't do it. It's fucking Caleb's cousin, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, my cousin Damien?
Justin? Is that?
No, he's a light skinned dude. He was a barber. He lives in Ottawa. He was,
Oh,
yeah.
Lincoln? No.
I think his name was Damien.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but he
Because
came and recorded on my studio a few times. I remember how good he was, and at the time my sound engineer, like that was his boy, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, we're doing a show. We're doing the car show, the import night 2005. I'm like, yo, get him to come out and sing a couple tracks. And I went and asked him, and he was like, nah. Like he was just turned white as a ghost. Like, nah. I'm like, dude, you're talented. You're good looking, talented dude. No. To find out that guy's also, yeah, he was related to Caleb. I couldn't stop laughing, man.
That's
Such a small
crazy.
world, bro. Such a small world.
Caleb
That,
used to always we'd hit him up for like a feature or something and be like, you got to take my cousin too. And was like, oh shit, okay. Like, and he used to bring his cousin around and they used to have a really similar singing style.
okay.
Very, very similar.
Yeah.
And, he used to bring his cousin come around and like his first name was Smitty. And then he went by, Skyline. And then he changed it to Chason. And now it's just Chase.
Okay.
And like the guys like doing collabos with like Chris Brown and shit.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
it's crazy, man. Like
Holy
right
shit.
for Chris Brown, like yeah, it's wild, man. Like to see him have
Wow.
come up under Caleb and then
Yeah.
he's like a crazy artist.
There's
now.
a few. There's still some Caleb tracks that come out. It's on my playlist. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just
Yeah.
like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, he has that one style that is like, that's the club I want to go to. You know what I mean? I need him there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the club that he gives me. I'm just like, damn, like he's
Yeah.
so good, so good, man. I always hit him up. I'm always giving him props. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing I gotta give. I love the podcast. It's the reach I got and the people I got to meet. And I love to travel and meet meeting you guys in person is adds that extra to me, right? It's just
Hells yeah.
there's an extra bond to it. You're like, I got to see you, there's no fucking cameras, none of that bullshit. That's what I enjoy about the podcast too, right? When I get to meet people. And he was one of them, I was like, lunch, he's like, yep. I'm like, oh, picked his ass up. He invited me in his house, met his wife. You know what I mean? There's that other connection that no one will ever see, on the camera, right? So it was super dope. So I was like, yeah,
he's a good dude, man. He's a legend, bro. Like, salute to Caleb, bro.
man, you guys are pumping out some talent over there. That's all I gotta say.
And we always have, man. We always have
Yeah.
down here. It's always been rich in the talent pool, and it's not just the hip hop. You know what I mean? It's every genre. Even in the electronic music, we have so many successful producers and DJs, and like we've been known for fiddles and violins and shit like that forever, and for the Rankins or Great Big C or whoever.
That's
it is,
true.
like,
That's true.
out here. So like there is
That's right.
so much talent out east, but and it was crazy that at one point there was like we had a lot of Asian exchange students
Okay.
at one point, and we met this one girl. I'd probably say this is probably between 2007, 2008, maybe. And this Asian girl would come out to everything, and she would be front row center every show. And we just
Really?
so we talked to her one night, and we're like, what's your deal? We see you all the time. We love it. We love that you're here. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, she was telling us, and she's a very thick accent too, right? Not the greatest of English, but she was telling us where I'm from, Halifax is a sacred place for hip hop. We know everything about you guys. And she was dropping names, though. She was dropping the serious, the heavy hitters, and we're like, how do you know all this? She's like, where I'm from in Japan, or wherever she was from, she's like, this is you guys
That's
are God
crazy.
to us. We follow everything that goes on over here. It was wow.
That's crazy.
So
It's cool that, you know what? That's respect for you guys noticing her too, man. I'm like that. I think it's nice to reach out to people that support big time.
yeah,
I
she
remember,
was just everywhere.
Yeah.
We just where did you come from?
I remember DJing this event. I think it was every Sunday night at this club, and this one black dude every time, 10:30, 11 there, have a couple drinks, dressed nice, super polite, request calls. I'm like, what's your name, man? He goes, my name's Chris Westfield. like, Chris, I'm Joey. You're never paying cover again. Like, I was like, you're never paying cover again. You know what I mean? It's like, what? I'm like, yo, you support way too much. You're the night you never asked for anything. Told the girls, told the bouncers, never pay again. And then he ends up at the time being a manager at the movie theater. And he's like, well, yo, if you guys want to roll on Monday nights after the theaters close, I'll open up a theater for you and you guys can watch whatever you guys want.
Dope.
Bro, we were so spoiled for like 7-8 months straight, man. It was just like beer and munchies rolling into the theater. And he's just like, and then the movie Transformers came out. You know, it was a big movie, right? So now we have like 50 friends. We overdid it this time. And he never said anything. But you know what? I always bartered. I'm like, yo, this guy works at that club. This guy works at this club. Make sure he gets in. And the funny joke, I end up being the MC and DJ at his wedding after.
Crazy.
So just funny how shit happens, you know what I mean? Just to notice the loyalty of people, you know, people need to reach back out and be like, yo, you know, like, thanks for the support. Like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? And
big time.
It means a lot, man. It does mean a lot. But man, Ivy, man, I'm really happy to have you on. You got to come back on after everything's done.
Always, bro. Always. We'll definitely do something in December when I get back.
Yes, and I need to make my ass out back over there. I need to get back. I know I'm going to Cuba in April because I usually just go there and just have a good time for 7 days.
I always tell people the best time to come to Halifax is Hopscotch weekend. And we just had Hopscotch last weekend. We just had Jada Kiss down here. We had Danny Brown.
Then you know what? I might have to come back twice. I might have to come before then. And might have to come then. Yeah,
definitely come before then. But I'm just saying, like, if there's ever a good weekend to come where there's like a lot of stuff going on and like stuff that you'll appreciate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because it's like it wasn't just that. Like there was, you know, we had an event Thursday night, which a friend of ours has a gallery going on right now.
Okay.
It's all Halifax hip hop history. He's got a timeline dating back to like 91, and it shows everybody that's been in the game from Halifax hip hop history. He's got tapes, he's got CDs, he got a wall of flyers.
That's
like
dope.
From all old shows. Like
I don't even have my own flyers. I would have loved to have those actually. God damn,
it's pretty crazy. So
we there was a guy that actually came out and made a Ottawa hip hop documentary, and it was actually done very, very well. Very well. It was on YouTube.
I think I might have started to watch that.
I was a bit impressed. I was like, I think, you know, because me being, I don't know if I'm a little older than this guy was. I think there could have been a few other, you know, we all have our own opinions. We don't know if they were asked or not asked or declined.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I think this guy, or there's a little more story with this dude that they didn't bring up, but who the fuck am I? I'm not editing it. So I don't know. Right. I would have did it a little bit different, but I was pretty impressed. with it. Nice. That's cool. It's cool to see people that give a shit about, you know, our history, you know, Halifax, Ottawa, you know what I mean? Some of the smaller places, you know, cause I know Toronto, the one thing I hated about people from Ottawa, they would always end up saying they're from there.
From Toronto?
No, but they're not. They weren't. You weren't from there. Ended up going there.
Did Belly claim Toronto, or did he always claim?
No, he claimed Toronto at first.
Okay.
He claimed Toronto at first. Yeah. Belly's talented. Belly just had to get out of Ottawa. There was too much. How can I say this politely? He's super talented,
but the scene didn't appreciate him.
But you know when you know someone and your rhymes are complete lies, completely lies,
and everybody
like,
knows it,
and everybody knows it, and you're all from the same neighborhood, and he's walking down the street, and you're like, that was the bit of the issue with what was going on with his mixtapes and stuff, you know. He was remixing the Milkshake song, you know, shooting all the boys in the yard. No.
It's funny, man, because Joe Run told Classified that the first time they recorded. Because Classified was talking about like rat-tat-tat-tat something.
Yeah.
And Joe was just like, what did you say? Like, you're rapping about guns? He's like, do you have guns? And they were like, well, no. He's like, well, don't rap about guns. Like, it
hurts you. It hurts you.
You know?
But there's two ways. See, that was your boy being straight up with him. So we don't know what his camp was like. And two, you might grow out of it. Like it could, and Belly did grow out of it. You know, his songs weren't all about, but you know, it was just one of those, like, you got to be fun. It's good to be talented, but it's also good to be talented if you're rapping about, like you were mentioning with Quake, you know, like he takes a story and there's a story behind it. But imagine if Quake could just rap about anything. Like, you know what I mean? How much easier would that track be for him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the thing. It's like storytelling in the hip hop game is very talented. But when you have an open book of anything to rap about, because it doesn't matter if it's true or facts or lies, it doesn't matter.
I think when we were all young, we probably embellished a little bit. Right?
Of course.
You know?
And the thing is, I
Some
always
of us
thought,
probably not proud of it, but
and I used to just say the same thing. I was like, yo, the dude is talented. I will never deny his skills on how talented he is. It's just, it's hard to, like, we have side eye when we see him walk through. It's just kind of like, come on, bro. Like, you know, and I know. Like, it was just one of those, like, you know, it's that was the only super issue. Like the funny thing about Ottawa, it was there was the two main groups. It was Belly's Camp with Capital Profits.
Yeah.
And then there was Half Size Giants, and they're both from the same neighborhood. But for some reason, Ottawa had a super issue of like only one could make out or only one could exist.
Was 9 Planets like before this?
9 Planets was probably a little bit after. A little bit after. These but 9 Planets made it bigger, faster.
Like DL and them were probably
DL and Cornito, yes, and those guys, yes.
Wasn't that group that had one of the guys from Much Music, the VJ? Wasn't they from Ottawa? It was like I can't remember the name of the group.
Oh,
the Sun Franks. Remember that guy, the Rainbow Sun Franks?
No,
that was the VJ on Much Music. But
there was Deuce Deuce that had a track on our radio that came out, did pretty well. I think they kind of separated. One stuck around. He's doing all right. Then we had Danny Fernandez that worked with Belly, and Danny Fernandez came out with a song with what the fuck was his name? Oh fuck, as if I was supposed to get Danny on the show.
Yeah,
but Danny flaked a few times.
Yeah, Danny's been going through some shit.
Yeah, he flaked a few times. I remember being told, they're like, yeah, I go, you know, I was like, all right, whatever, no big deal. It is what it is. Bam took it more to heart. Bam's like, if he comes down to freaking Nova Scotia, I'm throwing a water bottle at him. I'm like, oh my God, man. He was going off. I'm like, I'm not even that upset, man. But
the oddities, weren't they from Ottawa?
It sounds familiar.
I could have sworn they were.
Oddities. I think they were from the West. I'm trying to remember.
Maybe they're from Toronto. Saying Toronto.
Okay. Well, then again, we were just saying that maybe everything from Ottawa says Toronto. So we don't know. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Like we had, you know, the hip hop scene was starting to grow, and then they just started beefing each other. And I think Import Night 2004 was our big event here with the car show. I did it the year after, and so these guys went at it, fought their crew, it was so dumb, man. It just hurt the industry more than building it, because no one wants to have any of this around. Yo, I want to throw a hip hop show. No, they fucked up Import Night. Why the fuck are we bringing these bozos here?
Yeah,
there was this great artist, and his name was Gutter Kid at the time. I think he changed his name a bit. And I remember he saw me at an event, super polite, super talented, and he goes, Joe, how the fuck do you guys get all these shows? I'm like, well, first of all, Gutter Kid isn't fucking sexually attractive to a club owner when he goes, I'm trying to get Gutter Kid to perform on my club. So he's going to automatically just dismiss you, like you're not performing here, without even giving you a chance. And he's like, oh, I didn't even look at it that way. It's older men, older white men, or older European men that don't even, some older European men don't even like hip hop at all, right? So
yeah,
it's a different time, right? So, but yeah, it was some people. It was, I felt bad for him, but he ended up going to Toronto. He's doing really well, and he's super talented too. But there's these things that you get the, you know, blurred lines with your names and stuff and beef, right? So you bring it, then you understand why you can't perform somewhere, right? So it is what it is. But Ivy, man, I'm so excited for you, man, to go on tour. I'm proud of you. You're killing the game. You guys are doing real big things over there.
Respects.
Man, you know what? I am excited to come down to Halifax. I am definitely going to holler at you. But regardless, I am seeing you November, 28th, if I'm right? Let's pop it up. November 28th at the Bronson Center in Ottawa. That's where I'll be. I might make some special guest appearance in Kingston at the Broom Factory and Montreal, Le Studio TD. Yeah, I might pop up on those things. I'm gonna definitely help you guys promote the show from there. We have a lot of people from Alberta and BC that follow the show, so you know we got you, brother.
Well, you can tell them to pick up the vinyl. We got autographed tour vinyl. That's going to be autographed from everybody on the tour. You know what I mean? Got the actual vinyls.
Dope, bro.
Oh, so
love it.
There goes my camera.
That's fucking dope, man. That's dope, bro. Ivy, man. Definitely see you soon, and we'll definitely get you back in December, my brother.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate you.
My pleasure, brother.
All love, bro.
Have a good night, man. Peace.
Peace.